To think such a simple journey became to a complicated mess towards the end, you know? All it was two beings, a Katawara who wants to help humans, and a human who wishes to become a Katawara, traveling the world, finding themselves in their resolutions, picking up strangers along the way, turning something to a catastrophic event towards the end. So many unknown figures at play. Even the ones that they were after was dangerous enough. But the unknowns, you don't know why they're doing there. We've seen these unknowns before. And now they just show up. The question is, what are they here for? Are they just watching? Are they observing? Are they recording? Are they just waiting for their time to strike? We don't know. But it really does bring into a very mysterious thing that only certain people can see them. Those with a high enough spiritual power are able to see them. Those with low spiritual power can't see them, which makes a lot of sense. We saw the fight with Darwin as they're about to collide, and they just walk right through the middle of the fight. And this is when Wizen, again, trying to make his escape plan by manipulating Jinka the entire time. And it keeps happening. Well, it only happened twice, but still. But anyways, let's also talk about Jinka. Jinka was, of course, we know, one of the main characters. His goal of hating to be weak and rusting away, feeling like his life was just made with uncertain events, especially with his fairy eyes. He was given the short end of the stick until he met Tama and others as well along the way. Now he wanted to become Kampawara as an excuse to be strong and couldn't stand humans, but in reality it was so he can be with Tama forever. That was his true reason why he wanted to become one. And that's nice. How he became one towards the end, was it worth it? But remember, he needed to feed upon Tama's essence in order to become a spiritual transformation. At least part Katawara. But now he is so blended, so messed up, to the point he has so many, more than 9 tails. He became his own monster. Monster that will someday be strong enough to destroy the entire world, both humans and Katawara. To the point where Tama went back to our normal state, with even longer hair and stuff. And it really sucks that this happens to him. So it's supposed to be a simple journey, became something just disastrous, and all because they started to mess with Wizen. This is where it really all happened. They started to mess with Wizen because he was doing bad things, but Wizen going after them is what caused all this. Then they started to go after them, finding ways to go through his henchmen to him, but not realizing this guy is smart. During this period of time, people was very spiritual, very religious in a way, but also made them ignorant towards other things, mainly human knowledge and technology. They would rely on their feudal lords and their gods in order to make them prosperous. However, it was always not a good thing. A lot of people died of starvation, famine, and murder back in the day. Until people, we like it or not, like Wizen, stood up and say, stop relying on these things. Rely on yourself. It's time for you to think. Become a genius. Of course, his entire thing was for love, after all. Wasn't really cared much for humanity. He just wanted his own selfish desires. But that probably was life for a lot of great people in the past. They were driven by their own desires and obsessions, but it really encouraged others at the end of the day to do the same, to follow suit. And that's probably what happened, Wizen was showing off the power of humans in a way, and which was irritating the mountain god to a great extent and stuff. He is using, sure, he had much spiritual power as Jinka, but he had way better control over the power than he did. He was very creative And plus, he knew how to do some great tactics at the same time. I mean, I'm sitting here watching this dude. He's just thinking way ahead as they were sitting there about to do their next round of fighting. Like, what should I do? Should I take Tama, hold hostage, grab some money, go off to do this, start a new speed? He was just thinking way ahead on what to do already. While everyone in his mind is already on this fight and capturing him. He's already thinking about what he's going to do when he gets the money. Like, Jesus Christ. This is what you call a forward thinker, in a way. Despite the situation they're in, they will use where they can to keep going forward in life, no matter what happens. And because these kind of people are extremely successful, they have no time to dwell on the past or the present. Their mind is already trapped in the future, and it keeps going on ahead and ahead. Unfortunately, it's a good thing, but yet a bad thing. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, man, it was just crazy what's going on. How they manipulated Jinka like that, and plus using Tama as bait, as an illusion, making Jinka think he killed Tama, and then seeing Shinosuke just on the ground bleeding like that. It made him just lose the control to the point. And what's even worse is because, remember, Widen put that talisman on him, not just for the illusion, but also to cause him to be within his own body. Remember the thing, how people have the out-of-body experience, but what about the thing where it's the inner body experience? Kind of like the movie Get Out, you're trapped inside yourself. You see everything that's going on, but you can't do anything about it. You scream all you want, no one can hear you inside your own mind. So the body, in a way, took control over everything. All that power with no mind to control it caused it to go haywire and out of control to the point everybody had to leave. It was really touch and go there, man. But Widen screwed up all because he wanted to escape. It's like every time they try to chase after this dude, things only get worse for them. But you can't leave him alone. But at the same time, you do chase him. Terrible things keep happening to the good guys. You gotta find a way around this. You gotta hit this guy not at the front, but in a sneaky way in order he cannot see you going to get him, or else this is just going to keep happening. You see what's happening right now, I'm seeing a pattern here with Bison, You don't want to underestimate this guy. He's not a dude you want to take on head on. You don't want to, because he already has a plan and a scheme. And even if his scheme doesn't go out the way he wants to, it will have a deep impact on those who are surrounding it. As you can see, like, jeez, this guy is good. But now, as things seem to happen, Tama's off the look for Jinka, Shinsuke is resting, and it seems like the Mountain God has her own plans. Besides the unknown figures, she sees Jinka is too powerful for anyone to handle. So probably, just maybe, someone else can take him off. And at the very end, it's almost as if Jinka is setting up to be the new antagonist for the rest of the story, the final boss. I'm calling him an antagonist because it's just someone the main character to go against, but he is no longer the main character. In this next arc, ironically, it is the dragon's son, the boy who has 1,000 demons inside of him. He is the next main character of the series, and it is up to him to stop Jinka, apparently. Like, wow. So did we just see a boy who was part of the bad guys become good guy? Well, not become good guy, become the protagonist, and the protagonist become antagonist. A little, reverse card moment right there. Like, wow. Okay, this is very interesting. This can go both ways. A lot of some manga I've read throughout the years where they try to switch the main characters in the second part of the story. And I've seen it happen. Sometimes it doesn't work. Because sometimes the main character just isn't good enough as the old main characters. Therefore, people don't care about them. Like when I was reading Tokyo ESP, everyone loved Rinka from it. But then, after the first part, a new main character came out and no one really liked her and stuff. And people were just happy that the new character came back. It was just terrible. And sometimes it does work. Like, a very terrible anime called Killing Bites came out. Very terrible. But it was worth it for me because the second part came out and a new main character showed up. And she ended up being the protagonist, and it became way better afterwards. It happens more times than you can tell. It's just, they just don't get animated a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, I like to see how this plays out. Part 2 comes out in July, summer of anime, and I am looking forward to it. Yeah, because we all know we're having 2 more parts to this, and everyone's waiting for ReZero, so there's that too. So anyways, I've been on here long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really fun to watch and talk about. And if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox, all anime. Signing out.